The world's most versatile form of packaging. The corrugated case. Either printed or plain. 1, 2, 3 or 4 colours. SCA Packaging, Warrington Road, Goose Green, Wigan, Lancashire. Formerly Reed's Corrugated Cases of Wigan, leaders in print. These are some of the awards that we have won over the last 2 or 3 years. This is a promotion box that we did for Christmas 1990. It depicts the scenes of Wigan, with the rugby player on one side and the Wigan Pier and the new clock on the other. When the wine are inside, you can see the labels of them displaying what the wine is. These are a corrugated case that we do for spillers. They have a new type of fastener on. They're just plastic. They don't need any gluing or stitching. Just push them into the corrugated case and it holds them fast. They are reusable. This is another spiller's job, Borneo, multicoloured. These are the clips I was telling you about. To open the box, you just pull the top on either end and the flap will open. If you want to remove them for reusing again, you just take them out and they're reusable again. This is a very fine printed job. Here we have a multicoloured job. This is a 3 colour. This is also a 3 colour. The for Benson's crisp and that, with an handle so that when they put them on display in the shop they can just get the crisp out without opening the box. Here we have 2 more display boxes. For some of the printing what we do, put the barcode on and the best before date for the customer. This is on every case that leaves the factory. It tells you the shift it was run, the machine it was run, the factory it was run at, the month and the date it was run. These are printed labels, they have to go on every pallet that leaves the factory. Hot point, job number, description dishwasher, 80 per pallet, Landudner Junction on the 28th of February 1992 was run on shift 1. Pallets they have to use, strapping and the type of stacking pattern to be used. We all have to work to BS 5750. This is the European recycling packaging label. This is the British. Here we have the display box again to carry the 3 bottles of wine. That was for 1990. This is the 1991. This is carries the 3 bottles of wine just the same, and it depicts the Reed taut liner. It's the new SCA colours. These are what the wagons will be printed like. They're a very good job, these. Well, I'd like to take you on a short trip round the SCA factory at Wigan. This is outside the factory gates, looking up towards the car park at the top. This is inside the factory gates. That's the office block and the canteen. This is the full extent of the factory, running right up to the top. There are 10 loading bays. Here we have number 1 and number 2 loading bay. The new SCA taut liner colours and the garage where they repair all the vehicles. These are the old Reed taut liners. They're all being changed over to SCA colours, but we're still Reedsmen at that. These are all the pallets that we use in the factory. There are about 20 different types of pallets, different sizes for different customers. Here we have a taut liner that's just been loaded. You'll take this down to the trailer park now and fetch another one up. Here we have a bloke underneath one ready to take out on the road. Another here going out on the road. That is when it becomes money, when it's dispatched. Here we are, we're in the dispatch department now. Biggest machine in the factory. Over 200 yards long this. Everything has to come through the dispatch. That pallet will hold 57,000 packets of crisps, 8,000 chickens, 57,000 tins of baked beans. These are trailers loaded ready to go out of the factory. Here we have pallets going to the flexos. Crest boxes, thousands of them. Here we have a trailer being loaded for Kellogg's. Everything has to come through these two roller bays. Now we've moved over to the warehouse. This is a coding machine where every order has to be booked in and out as it goes out of the warehouse and back into the warehouse. Here we have the number 2 bowl machine. This is the C flute corrugator. And this is the F flute corrugator. So they can run C flute or F flute, or join them both together to make double wall, which is a very strong case indeed. Now if you look up on the gantry you can see the paper being pulled along. It's a single face at present, and it runs to this backing unit which puts the other paper on. That makes it into the board, where it's very soft. Then it goes through the hot plates to the knife shaft, then through to the chop unit up to the super stack, then out on the traverser line. This is the traverser line here. Now this is the knife shaft I was telling you about. It slits the board down to size. There's a 3 out and a 1 out. So the 3 out will run on top, the 1 out will be on the bottom. Here we have the 3 out. It's what we call a duplex order. It can run 2 orders at the same time. The traverser's just come along now to pick the boards up. Pick them up off one station, move up to the other, and pick the loads up on the other station. They're never touched by hand, they just run on automatic by automatic roller bears. He will take them then to the flexors or bobs where they're required. Here we have a pallet just coming out of the super stack. The run out, when it clears, the rollers will go back up to the top to start the process off again. This will run down to the end. When it gets full, the traverser man will come up again and take it away again to the machine that requires it. Here we are, we've just got on the traverser car now. We're running down the factory. We'll run past the number 1 board machine. It's the same as the other one. C flute corrugator, F flute corrugator, double backer, hot plates, knife shaft, chop unit, super stack, out on the rollers, and then it will be picked up again by the traverser car and taken to where it's required. Here we are, we've reached the destination for these boards. They're being fed off automatic again. They all have a line which flexo it goes down to, or Bob's press. We'll just walk down now to the flexos and have a look what they're like. Well, this is number 4 flexo. It's a modern 3-colour flexo printer. For a blank boarding at one end, it comes out printed and stacked and everything at the other. Here we are, feeding it underneath, drops it in an hopper, runs it through, counts it in bundles of 25, then it ejects it, runs it into a time machine, which straightens it up, ties it, runs it down then to the person on the bottom who is stacking it. It's like this all the time. This is the number 5. It's a smaller machine, it does smaller work, but it's fast. This is feeding them the opposite way now, it's folding them on top instead of underneath. Same thing, counts them in 25s. This pushes them out and it just knocks one into the roller base, which goes into the straightener, tyre, off again. In again, straighten, tie, off again. It's like that all the time. This is the Merton. This is a 4-colour, set up by computer, the most modern in the factory is. This is folding on top, now this is fast. Same again, runs down into the tyre, tie, off it goes again. Now if you watch this, it's a new type of stacking. There's a plate comes out and he puts a row on. There you are. This here is the quality checking area where they check the bolts. When he's put a full row on, he'll put a binder in, then put another row on top. This is to hold them together while they're being moved through the factory. Presses the button, plate moves out of the way, the pallet drops down, the plate will come out, and he starts off the process again. When he's done 12, he'll eject the pallet and it'll run out onto the palletising line. Now it's at the palletising line the wrong way, so it'll be turned and sent down the palletising line rollers. This allows the pallets from the other machine to run through. It's about 150 yards to the palletising press, right at the bottom. Here we have number 2 Flexo. This is the biggest machine in the group. Biggest producer of CSMs in the group, this is. This is a long-serving machine, man. You're just doing a quality check on it. They have to be done every 1,000 boxes. This is the number 3. It's not running at present. Here we have number 9 printer. This is just a Flexo printer. Doesn't glue them, make them into a case. Just prints them in 3 colours. Then it will make trays or stitch work for reprocessing further along the line. This is the order what they just finished in the chicken boxes. Now this is number 4 Bob's press. This is 2 units, a print unit on this side and a Bob's unit on the other. And it runs up into the Bob's unit. But this again, it's not working, he must just be setting it up. This is the order he's just finished. Now this is the number 3 Bob's, very similar to the other, print unit and the Bob's unit. This is the print unit now and it's just feeding them into the hopper. It's printed underneath. These are nestles. Bob's press them, drops them down, then it'll run them out. And then they have to be broken open and divided up into 6 individual ones. Then stacked on a pallet, ready for dispatch. Now this is number 5 Flexo, Bob's. This is a brand new machine, printer and Bob's all combined. This can do multicoloured work. This appears to be the machine man that's feeding in at present. He must have let them go for a backup. You can see he gets blank boards. He feeds the white underneath because that's where it prints. It prints underneath on these. So the white part is underneath, the brown's on top. It runs along, drops into the hopper, fed into the machine, which goes to the press, which presses it out. Then it's stripped, drops down, and then it's run out again. Now if you watch this unit, it's different to the other. It runs into part of the machine here, and it breaks it itself. That's it. And it'll run it out, and run it in to the machine the opposite way. And then it'll start the process off again, and it'll break this. Now this is a 6 out too. But when they come out in 2s. So it's breaking them off in 2s. There it is now. Running it in, breaking it off, and to run it out again. It's like that all the time. Now here we are, we're on the ward. This is a rotary press. This is a lot faster than the others, 3 or 4 times faster than the other presses. But then again, it's not working. Unfortunately, we can't see this one running. Now this is a printer 6. This is the biggest machine in the group. 130, 140 inches long. It's running gyprock combing now. These are 3 metre in length. Just a steady stream of boards dropping off at the other end. These go to a different type of machine after. Here we are, we've moved over now to the stitching side, where the printers have done them. They feed them in here now. They've already been printed and slotted and that. They're folded and they run up to a stitching head. This stitching head is fast, very fast really. Now it'll count them in bundles of 10, then it'll eject them, start off the process again. This is the boss stitch. This has been in the factory over 30 years, still a very good machine. It can make good boards out of bad boards, this, and fed. This is the Baumüller rotary. This can be set up for different type of fittings. Run them off, drop them into an hopper. When it's got enough in it, ejects them, then they're stacked onto a pallet and sent into dispatch again. These appear to be hot point. Here we have what they call an L-jet. It's for irons. This runs solely irons work, and it can run one pallet, and within 2 minutes it can change variety and run another pallet of a different variety. It's so as irons can call them off 1, 2, 3 or 4 pallets at a time, any variety they want, delivered straight away to them. I'll just have a look. Banana dessert with vitamin C and the barcode. Here we have a forklift driver now, just taking a pallet off the roller base. He'll run it round to the press, put it on the palletising line. This is the counter. This is a rotary machine. Now here we are at the top end of the palletising press. This is 2 presses in line. What happens here? It presses on one. Then if it's required 4 straps, it'll turn it on that cross what you can see in the middle. Run it to the next press and put 2 straps on the other way. This press can put 1, 2, 3 or 4 straps on it, depending on what is required. Well, just watch it, it's just put 2 straps on. Now this doesn't want 4 on, so it'll let it run through. We'll just watch the next one come through. Now here we are, it's already put 2 on. It knows to turn it on the turntable, run it through to the next press and put another 2 straps round. And every pallet what comes into dispatch must have 1 label on at least and a display box. Some has up to 4 labels on, 1 on each side. There it is, it's putting its straps round now, all automatic. It runs it along then to the pusher bars, what pushed it into the dispatch. It runs into the dispatch, and inside there'll be a forklift driver taking them off. Here he is. Now if they're required for loading, he'll load them straight on a wagon. But if not, he has to boot them in and stack them in a section. Here you have a driver just loading a wagon now, just loading a torque liner. 2 at a time. Off he goes for another 2. Here we have another driver coming down, he's loading a different trailer. Here we are, 2 at a time. Straight on, no hesitation. Well, this is the 1991 display box. Holds 3 bottles of wine, and I think it's a very, very good one. It's all die cut out of 2 pieces of cardboard, this. No glue in, no nothing, it's just self-assembly. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. A little trip anyway.